Ready?
Yeah.
That being said, welcome back to another episode of La Vida podcast. We are today somewhere in Ontario. Brother,
Yes, sir.
thank you for
Yeah,
having me at
thank
your
you for having
house.
me. Appreciate it.
Can you please be kind to introduce yourself to the viewers? Let them know who you are, what time it is.
Yeah, what's going on? My name is Michael Zavala. I'm the owner of Zavala's Pies. We're a mobile pizzeria. You follow us on Instagram. We'll get you guys going. Any type of event, any occasion, we got you.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
With that being said, tell us a little bit more about yourself. You know, your background. Where do you start? Where do you grow up and stuff like
Yeah.
that?
I grew up Alhambra, Serrano area. I cooked for a while. Well, me and my dad, and then the last 8 years, I was working in the restaurant industry, and then from there up, I just kept doing my thing. Excuse me. I just kept doing my thing, and then yeah, we just kept going. We kept pushing. I'm very passionate about what I do. I wouldn't be here without the support that I do have. This is 5 years in December, or last December. I've been doing it. I'm going on my 6th year doing this full time. I mean, there's no stopping.
That's right.
The sky's the limit. You know what I
What
mean?
what got you to the food industry? Where did you give a little more in detail as when you grew up? How was your youth? You know, you growing
Um,
up and stuff like that.
I was a little rough like everybody else.
Hmm.
Being Hispanic and the streets that we grew up in. I was a skater for a long time with the homies, and then I started doing graffiti. From there, we started doing obviously drugs and alcohol was a big part of my life for a very long time. I've been sober now for 3.5 years.
Congrats.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate it. I had my daughter when I was 19, and then yeah, I didn't grow up with my pop, so my mom kind of took the lead on that with me and my brother, and then yeah, it was just kind of looking for that love like everybody else does as a youngster, like with
Yeah,
the big homies. So shout out to all my homies and everybody who took care of me when I was younger, and yeah, we just kept doing my thing, and that's pretty much it from here on out. We just kept pushing, and I'm thankful that I am sober. You know, I never really spoke about this at all to anybody type deal, but
yeah,
in and out of jail, just violations, stuff like that. 2 DUIs, unfortunately, but it's all learning experience. Obviously, people make mistakes,
we all do.
so we gotta grow and just learn from it.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
That's right. I feel that meeting our mistakes and making embrace them,
yeah, for sure,
making the
for
best
sure.
out of us. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you growing up and stuff like that. What got your attention to do catering or food industry type of thing?
So the food industry, I kind of got into it later on. I was trying to work all kinds of different jobs, trying to be a carpenter, electrician,
Hmm.
stuff like that. It didn't really, pull me in where like I want to do this for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
I don't mind, but at the time I didn't mind working for somebody. Obviously we gotta grow as we get into a new field.
Hmm.
But once I got that opportunity to work in the restaurant industry, I just ran with it, man. I love it. I just using your own equipment, knives, mandolins, everything like that, like cooking pastas to salad to desserts, entrees, doing stuff from scratch. That's what I take pride in the most is my dough because we make it from scratch.
Yeah.
But I just fell in love with it. Cooking is an art form. And that's what I'm saying. Like referencing it to an art form is like for graffiti with me was like colors, shapes, and all different sizes.
Makes
That's the
sense.
same thing with food.
Yeah.
You're lacing something up, and it's just like I put the sauce down first. Level it out
Hmm.
nice and even. And then it's the cheese. Then it's the toppings. That color that brightens everything. Though when you pull that out of the oven, you look at it with the steam, and then you're like, damn, like that's an art form of food right there. You
Yes,
know what I
sir.
mean?
Yes,
So
sir.
I did everything else though before. I work saute, grill. I worked the fryer. I never baked. So my last spot that I worked at, I lied and I said I knew how to make pizza. So that's where I learned how to make
Oh
pizza.
wow.
Yeah, shout out to Giovanni's and Covina, man. They held me down for a while, but yeah, it took me a good year to learn how to make pizza. If you
So
don't
how
have
many
good
years do you work on the food
8 years,
industry? 8 years.
8 year, yeah.
Different places,
Yeah, I
different.
worked at the Hollywood Bowl for a couple years. I worked at Bottega Louis in LA,
Yeah.
a bunch of scratch kitchens. And then, yeah, I just started doing my own thing. And I was like, there ain't no going back from this.
That's right.
Yeah.
You were still drinking and active and all that.
Oh,
Been
man.
through that process.
Honestly, the Hollywood Bowl, that was a movie. I felt like I was in a movie. Like
Wow.
the back of the house is a pirate ship, man.
Yeah.
If you don't understand that, then you're not really gonna understand what a pirate ship reference means. Like it's grimy, it's straight gutter. Like it reminds me of the streets. Like you're under pressure, you know, things are coming at you you're not ready for, the adrenaline. Like I felt like I was on a good one without being on a good one. You know what I mean? And I just love that feeling. I
Yeah,
love that adrenaline. Like I don't know, I just live for that shit. You know?
that's right.
Yeah.
That's right. So you're working on the food industry and then you do your thing in life and stuff like that, being active and all that. What eventually you said, this is a turning point for me to start, you know, doing something for myself as an individual, you know, slowly kind of
Yeah.
shipping away
Yeah.
from the drinking and all of that. And you were like, I want to see my business, so I want to have an idea, business type
Yeah.
idea.
I mean, honestly, it was hard for me to stop drinking. Like everybody, it is hard. It's a, you know, we have an addictive personality, and you know, I come from a line of alcoholics. So
Hmm.
like I said, I didn't grow up with my dad, but you know, shout out to my dad. I still love him, but I wanted to break that cycle. I didn't
Okay.
want my boys, especially my boys, to see me being an alcoholic. You know what I mean?
Yes.
My daughter's different, you know, obviously it's a different bond, but
Hmm.
I still wanted the same for her. I didn't want her to have an alcoholic dad.
Okay.
So I was like, I gotta figure out how to stop, you know? And I would slowly start cutting it down little by little. But you know, that white girl was always in my life and I just didn't know how to kick that. So I mean, unfortunately, like I said, the two DUIs, the second DUI was the time where I was trying to stop. And I wasn't even mad I got a second DUI. I was like, this is my eye opener. And to top it off, I wasn't even drunk.
Wow.
I remember everything. I was a little over what I was,
Hmm.
you know, the limit.
The limit, yeah.
It was an eye opener for me. I said, you know, I deserve it. Now I gotta hit the ground running on this, and that was during the pandemic.
Wow.
So when I was working at Giovanni's, they were only trying to give me a couple hours out of the week, and I was like, dude, I got a family, I gotta eat. So that's when I started my business out of Lincoln Heights, California, out of the garage with my two sisters. So everything kind of fell into play at the time I needed it to for me to stay on that right path. And then to top it off, I had to turn myself in for a violation. And my son was already born. He was only a couple months. I woke up in that cell. The first thing I was looking for was him.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is the last straw for me. And that was it. Yeah.
You were like, that's it, I'm
That's
done.
it. I can't leave my kids behind.
Through that process, did you had that idea as I want to make my own business, or it just came randomly? How did that idea
To
start?
be honest, when I first started learning how to make pizza, everybody would compliment the pizza at the restaurant I worked at. And they
Hmm.
always wanted to speak to me. And I never had that before because I always was on the line back of the house type deal where there were so many of us in the kitchen. But at that restaurant, it was only my homie and me, and that
Hmm.
was it. So we were the only two making the food. So my manager would come out and be like, hey, they want to talk to you. And I thought I got in trouble, you know, like his food wasn't good or nothing. And I was all scared. And I'm like, damn. So they would be like, hey, we just want to let you know this is amazing. Your pizza is really good. And I was shocked because I'm like, from the 8 years I've worked in the restaurant industry, that never happened to me. So I was an eye opener.
Yeah.
And then I started just experimenting with dough and flours and stuff like that. And I started taking it really serious. And then my homies were like, Dick, how come you don't start doing this by yourself? Because that's when a lot of food vendors started popping up during the
Yeah.
pandemic.
Yeah.
And a lot of my homies started their own businesses. And they would always hit me up like, hey, what's up, fool? When are you going to start it? When are you going to start it? And I'm like, I don't know. Like, how do I even start this? You know?
Yeah.
But like everybody, you're not going to know until you take that first step.
Yeah. That part.
You know what I mean? So when I took that first step and I sold out, because I would do time slots every 15 minutes. So when I did that for the first time, I sold out the first time I ever did it. So I was like, what? Like, this is crazy. Like, I wonder if I could do this, you know?
Hmm.
And then,
Where was this? Did you went to an event the first
no,
time?
I did it in Lincoln Heights out of the garage.
Okay.
That's when I did it out of my sister's house.
Oh,
I bought all kinds of equipment. This is my first mixer I ever bought. I've had it for 6 years now.
Okay.
You know? And it just upgrades with everything. My ovens, my stainless steel tables, my canopy, everything. And I saved my money. I worked at Lock and Key and Downey, and then I worked at their pizzeria. So I worked at those two jobs, and then I did my thing on the weekend. So I was working 3 jobs at once. And I was hustling. I was grinding. And I was like, dude, ain't nobody gonna give me what I want, so I gotta get it.
That
You know
part.
what I mean?
Yes,
My
sir.
family's, I'm not saying we're not wealthy, but
Hmm.
we didn't have the money to be like, here, mijo, here's all this money, go
Yeah.
get your stuff. No, 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 no. Me and my brother obviously had to work for what we wanted. You know what I mean? And
Gotta work for it.
yeah, we have to. And that's what I want to teach my kids. You have to work for what you want.
Yeah.
Ain't nothing free. and especially the color of our skin, trust me, we got to work hard for this. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But if you think about it, in the restaurant industry, that's all there is Hispanics.
Yeah.
All there is. You know, so with everything going on, it's just funny to me how people want to talk, and it's just like, so who cooks your food? You know
That
what I
part.
mean? And
Yeah.
we're working in high end restaurants. Who's back there cooking your food?
Washing
Who's
the
washing the
dishes.
dishes? You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
it's just funny to me because, yeah, you know, I'm tatted, you know, I look a certain way, whatever, it is what it is. But when I go to these events and I'm out there like in Beverly Hills or like I'm in a different area I'm not
Mhm.
used to, people look at me like, ah, he don't know what he's doing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But then they try the pizza, come back. I'm not even lying. They come back to me. Hey, bro, I've had pizza at high-end restaurants. Your pizza is very delicious. I'm like, dude, that's a compliment. I can't even explain on how that feels, you know? Because it's all that hard work that I've been putting in for years. That's the payoff for me. It's not about the money.
Finally paying off.
Yeah, it's not about, it never was about the money, you know? In the beginning when I started it, yeah, it was to pay my bills, but at the same time, I'm passionate about what I do for a living, you know? So
Yeah.
I take it very serious. And if I'm not satisfied with the way my dough came out, or if I'm not satisfied with a certain pizza, I'm not gonna sell it. I'm not gonna sell you something I wouldn't eat. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah.
You try it first, and then you.
Yeah, that's why it's R&D at home, you know, with my family. I always call my neighbors and everybody, hey, I'm making new pizzas. You guys want to try these pizzas? You know what I mean? So it's just, you got to get feedback, man. You have to with everything you do. It doesn't matter, you know.
That's right.
It's just my catering. She took it to another level, and it's just crazy to me how I was literally doing everything in the beginning. I was booking all my events. I was talking to people for catering, doing all my prep. I was, for a year I did the cash register, I made the pizzas, and I cut the pizza by myself for a year. And I was like, bro, this is very hard work, but at the end of the week when I'm done, I appreciate everybody who came to buy pizzas from me, because it allowed me to pay my bills and work another week. But when you bring somebody else into your business to help you, the stress went down at least like 85%, because I don't have to worry about that stuff anymore. Everything was on my shoulders, everything. And I'm like right there, like almost about to break down, like, damn, I don't know how to do this anymore. I'm not, I'm street smart, you know.
Yeah.
I don't know how to be behind a computer. I don't know how to do permits. I don't know how to talk to the county about certain things.
Yeah.
I don't want to burn myself out and be like, oh, I do this out of so and so. Like, no, you need certain permits for certain things. When she came in the mix, she started breaking everything down to me. She got me legit in a month. So I'm like, now it's an upgrade for me, you know. I could do bigger events. It's a, obviously to grow, you got to hit a bigger scale. You know what I mean? So we've been doing it for, you know, the last couple of months now. So yeah,
It's working
yeah,
out.
it's working out. Yeah.
Who came out with the logo idea? And
That's my homie Benji Escobar. Um, I met him through one of my boys, Donnie. He does all my printing. I just hit him up one day, asked him for a design. He told me what I wanted. I gave him a reference of a shirt that he did for somebody else. I said, I like this style, I like this font, but I do want to change some things up. Let's tweak it a little bit. And then we have the quality over quantity, because obviously quantity is more important. You know what I mean? So we put that in. Obviously, I'm from Los Angeles, California. So we put that on the bottom and then we just ran with it. Yeah. Yeah.
doing all of the above.
But honestly, I'm not gonna lie though, I like the adrenaline. I love it. Like, I have a line. I know how long it takes me to do my food. So I wasn't super stressed out, but it's just the fact that even though I was by myself, I didn't want people to wait long. Cause that's the main thing. And being a street vendor, it's supply and demand. You have to understand that.
Yeah.
When I first started my business, I was doing gourmet style pizzas. Nobody was buying that in the street. People wanted simple food to go. And that's the basic thing that people need to understand to start a business. Keep it simple, keep it authentic,
Yeah.
and you will do well. It's as simple as that. Don't do something that is not even you. Don't, oh, because I see this guy doing, that's not you though. That's somebody else. Do what inside makes you feel good. Do that and you'll be all right. You know?
So you came out with all the pizza ideas.
Yeah, a lot of them, yeah. Like a lot, my meat lover, it's has cuir chorizo on it. A lot of people never had cuir chorizo on a pizza. So everyone's always like, cuir chorizo, like what? I'm like, you know, we live in a Hispanic household, you know, like that's breakfast right there, you know? So I threw that on a pizza because like a lot of people do ham, you know, um, different sausage, you know, pepperoni, obviously. But I wanted to do something a little different. Obviously, cuir chorizo, you don't see that on a meat lover. You know what I mean? So I just ran with that one, and a lot of pizzas I did um, just come from food that I like to eat. Like obviously, I have a pizza on there. On my menu, it's called the '90s Baby.
Okay.
It's a pepperoni crust hot Cheetos with the hot honey that I make in house. So everyone's always like, "What, hot Cheetos on a pizza?" I'm like, "Hey, don't knock it till you try it,
That's
bro."
right.
And then the kids will get it. Their parents will try it. They'll come back and be like, "Hey, I don't like hot Cheetos, but that was good,
You
man."
get that one
So
out of
I'm like, "Yup, yup. Don't knock it till you try it, man." So
good.
yeah,
Thinking outside the box always works.
that's my daughter's favorite. Yeah, a lot of the youngsters like that one. Yup, yeah.
Give us a little history about your car. And stuff.
Yeah, my van is it's a 1971. It's a G1500. It's a P10. Um, I found that on OfferUp from my buddy C10 Sales. That came from Bakersfield. So man, when we got that thing, that shit underneath was a full nest, a nest. There's rat shit and all kinds of little twines and twigs. My gas tank was all messed up. The wires were chewed. All the hard lines were messed up. So I've been working on that thing to this day. It's been 5 years, you know.
So that
So
was your vision, getting a
yeah, I
car
didn't
like
want a
that.
food truck.
You didn't
I
want
didn't
to.
want a food truck. All I make is pizza, and that's what I'm saying to keep it as simple as possible. I don't need a fryer. I don't need a grill. I don't need, the 3 compartment sink. I do have my hand washing station and all that stuff, but I wanted something small, something compact, something where I could still roll up to the scene and it could be a show car or it's like, oh, what? This guy's making pizza out of that thing. What the heck? Like, you don't see that. You know what I mean?
You know.
A lot of my cousins are from the car scene. They're, the Pharaohs and together. So that's, who the first two people I reached out to, both of my cousins, like, hey, I got this old car, man. I need all of the information. I need all the connections, the plugs. Like, help me out. They're like, bring it, and they helped me. They helped me, man, and shout out to them. But it's I love that thing, man. I have a stressful day, and I got bumps in there. Dude. I got 212s, and I just go for a ride, and I just listen to the pipes rap and bump my oldies, and I'm good, bro. I love that thing. Everybody does, though, CHP pulled up on the side of me one time because I rolled with my window open, and I thought he was gonna tell me something about because I didn't have my seatbelt on, and he got in his little thing, and he's like, "That's a nice ride you got there, buddy," and he just kept going, and I was like, "Hell yeah, that was cool." Nobody messes with me in that thing, though, man. Nobody, nobody. I love it. I knew that I wasn't gonna give up, even though last year was one of my hardest years because of everything that's going on right now. But like I said, I don't want to work for nobody. I want to be my own boss until the day, I'm with the man upstairs. But I want this legacy to go with my kids. It's my last name, it's their last name. It's gonna be around for forever, man. Like that van ain't going nowhere. Even when I do get a mom and pop shop, like nah, that'll forever be my baby, man. It's that's what made me, and I love it, dude. It's like the hard work definitely has been paying off for the last 5 years. You got your ups and downs. It did break me a couple times, but we're human. We're men. Like we carry a lot on our shoulders, especially when we have kids to take care of. And we don't want our ladies to stress about it. It's yeah, it's our business, but at the end of the day, I put in a lot of work in this, and sometimes it's discouraging when there's a lot of other food vendors that I vend with, and it is nerve wracking and it is a little scary, but I let my food speak for itself. Like I don't downplay anybody's food, or I don't, discriminate or try to one up anybody. Like, nah, we're all in this to eat. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, my style's cool. Like, it's different from everybody else's. It's clean. Like, it's proper. Like, to be honest with you, a lot of people don't even know what I make because that's how like clean my setup is.
Yeah.
And they're like, where do you keep your ingredients? Like, where's your dough? And everything's put away like properly, And it's like they see my ovens going and they're like, oh, this guy's making pizza. And I'm like, yeah, bro, it's Zavala's pies. But a lot of people think I actually make pie. So I think I'm gonna have to bring that around and do some desserts later on.
That'd be a good idea.
Just to go with it. Yeah, switch it up a little bit.
That's right.
Yeah.
What when was the last event you make your business, right? And you got you went to an event that you were like, shit, I'm finally here. I'm finally doing it.
Yeah.
My dream is coming through.
Yeah.
When was that?
Man, there's been so many. There's been so many. Like I said, just growing up in the lowrider scene, just being at every lowrider show possible, just to get that recognition from all the car clubs, and like
Yeah.
everybody's like, nobody makes pizza at these car scenes though,
Nobody.
So that's one vision I had that I already knew I was gonna tap into, because I was already connected with it because of my family.
Okay.
So once I got that, even they tell all their buddies that, hey, my nephew, he's the one with the van. Oh, I see him everywhere. I see him at all the car shows. And I'm like, that's what I want. I want people to recognize that van more than anything. Because, they see the van,
Yeah.
hey, the pizza is here. The pizza homie's here, And I'm like, that's all I can ask for.
Makes you
You know
proud
what I
of
mean?
that.
That's probably the greatest feeling. Yeah, I can do huge concerts. I can do, some fancy catering or whatever, but to me, home is the lowrider scene. Like that's where I'm most comfortable
You
at. You know
feel
what
you
I mean?
feel feel
I
you
don't
right
I don't
there.
feel stressed out. But when I get into a new area, a new spot that I haven't been in, a new environment, people I don't really know, I do get nervous, because I don't know how I'm gonna do. I don't know
That
if they're
part.
gonna be like, hey, like, do we fuck with this dude or not? And it's nerve wracking all the time. Even when I know I'm fully prepared, I still get nervous. It's because that's how much I care about my business. And I thought about that the other day. Because I'm like, dude, I could be prepping all week for everything.
Hmm.
I got my propane, my boxes, my flour, everything, all my ingredients, and I'm still nervous. And I was talking to my lady and her sister the other day about it. And then she's like, well, that means because you care about your business.
Exactly.
If you didn't care about your business, you wouldn't even be
Exactly.
nervous about it.
Yeah.
And I was like, all right, now I heard it from somebody else.
Yeah.
It makes sense. But yeah, I feel like the older I get, I just get anxiety sometimes because I gotta feed my kids, man. That's my main concern. That's my main concern is to make sure that bills are paid and rent's due. You know what I mean?
Yes, sir.
That's all it is to it. But like I said, if it wasn't for people who support me, man, I wouldn't be here.
That part.
So shout out to everybody who's been there since day one. I appreciate
Trying to help you.
all you. Yep.
That's right. Any of your kids, they want to follow your steps, or do you want
So
them to do whatever they want? What are
yeah,
your thoughts?
lately my daughter's been helping me. So she's 15. She wants certain things.
Hmm.
So I told her, I said, you got to work for it.
Hmm.
Like you're at that age where you're old enough to work for your money now. So she's been helping me a lot. I did ask her though. She caught me off guard. I mean, I kind of thought I knew what she wanted to do, but she switched it up on me. Cause she told me she wanted to cook like me, and I was like, all right, cool. Like obviously this is yours anyway. But we were chopping it up, and then I was like, well, I asked her the other day, so what are you doing? Like, how's school? She's in high school now. Like, how are
Yeah.
your grades? Have you been thinking about what you want to do when you get older? Because that's my oldest. So she's like, I actually do. She's really into art. She likes to draw a lot, which, obviously she got that from me too with the whole
That's
graffiti thing,
right.
So, I take pride in that as well. But she wants to be a tattoo artist.
What?
So I'm like, all right. So I'm going to probably help her with, I want to buy one of those, the machines that it has the pen that looks
Okay.
like the tattoo
Yeah.
machine. Yeah, so that way she learns how to do that first, and then later down the line when she's old enough, I'll
Gets more
probably let her
canvas.
give me my first tattoo. You know what I mean? I'll be her guinea pig. I don't care,
Yes,
But
sir.
my other one, he's 7. He plays games, man. That's all he does. You know what I mean? And then I got my 5-month-old, so yeah, he's got away. But yeah, this is theirs, man. I'm building this for them.
Yes, sir.
So
And for you too,
yeah,
because it help you
yeah,
out.
yeah, for sure, for sure. But they need to, yeah, get up there in age so I can kick back a little bit, Be like, hey, you guys go work, I'll be at the pad, you know what I
Yes,
mean?
right. That's
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
When is your next event?
Every weekend. I work every weekend.
Every
Every
weekend.
weekend. Yeah. In the beginning, I was working Tuesday through Sunday.
Okay.
Yeah. So when I quit my other jobs, um, I gave myself 3 to 6 months to see if I could pay my bills. And after the 6 months, I was already on it. And I was like, all right, there's no stopping it now. So I mean, I would work throughout the week, but I was also missing time from my kids. And I'm like, I don't really want that. My daughter was playing softball. I don't want to miss out on those memories. So I was
Hmm.
like, let me take a step back. Don't get me wrong, like I was making decent money, but it was nothing where I'm like, oh no, I need to be here. And I do a lot of breweries and stuff like that too.
Okay.
So I kind of like figured out where I could make the money. So once I figured that out, which took me a couple years, then I was able to kick back a little bit and then just work on the weekend, Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
That's good.
So yeah.
Now that you sober for 3.5 years, congratulations. It was
Thank you. I
fucking hard,
appreciate
I'm
it.
sure.
Yeah. Yeah. Yep. This is my best friend right here. H2O, and energy drinks.
That part,
Mm-hmm.
that's a big milestone for you. You know what I mean? We gotta give props to that at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Because we, like you said, you come from a harsh time and
Yeah.
background as well. So
Yeah.
this is all you. And I always try to say that to every interview that I do, that we need to give enough ourselves. Um, we need to be proud of
Yeah,
ourselves.
for sure.
We need to care about ourselves first. We need
Yeah.
to love each other before care with somebody else.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, for sure, for sure.
We don't hear that as much.
Exactly. So when you do hear it, it's something that it hits different because it's like, all right, somebody at least notices that I'm a different person now.
Yes, sir.
Compared to how I used to be.
Yes, sir.
So it's cool, and like I said, I don't want my kids to see me like that. I don't want them to think like it's okay to be under the influence all the time like that. Like, don't get me wrong, if you can have a couple beers here and there, hey, more power to you. But I'm
Yeah.
not that guy.
Yeah.
I'm like, all right, let's get a 24 pack. All right, let's get a bottle. All right, call the plug. And then the birds are chirping the next day, and I'm like, what the? I didn't even
I don't
sleep.
remember.
And then you go to work the next day, and you're all zombied out.
Yeah.
And what do? You just hit it again, and you're
Yeah.
like, let me get that boost up.
Yeah.
And it's a cycle. It's a cycle, and by the week's over, you're broke.
Yeah.
So when I became sober too, the only reason why my van is the way it is because I saved my money. My money wasn't going to alcohol and drugs no more.
Correct.
It was going to my business.
Correct.
All my money to this day goes back into my business.
Yeah.
I got like 100, 200 bucks in my name and that's it. And I'm cool with that. What do I need money for? Like if I want to buy, my kids something or take them to the movies or get myself some shoes or I don't really do that anymore. But merch is my main thing right now too. Like investing in, my hats, my merch, my stickers, stuff like that. That's where my money goes. That's where my extra
So
money
you
goes.
create now merch for your
Yeah.
business. So
I got my
gente.
hats. I always have my hats. They're snapbacks.
Mhm.
What do I have? I have tank tops. I have t-shirts. I got crew necks. I got hoodies. I probably will be doing female clothes pretty soon. You know what I mean? All my shirts are unisex though. So, but crop tops for, the chicks, I'll probably do that soon. And then I want to make socks.
Okay.
Yeah, I want to do dope pusher on the back of the socks. Yeah, so
Sound
we'll do
different.
that. Yeah, something different for
Yes,
sure.
sir.
Yep.
So if anybody out there, the viewers want to get at you and say, I have this party or this event, how can they reach out to you?
On Instagram.
Instagram.
That's Zavala's Pies, and then my email's on there as well.
And then for the merchandise as well?
Yeah, same thing. And then if anybody's around, you guys see where I'm at, what event I'm going to, you guys can always DM me too. Let me know what size, what merch I got, and then I'm more than welcome to bring it. That way you guys can rock it as well.
That's right.
Yep.
Always got to support the small business.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
Look at yourself back when you were a youngster, putting work out there, tagging and all that good stuff. If you had the opportunity to give an advice to that young man, what would it be?
Man, I think about that all the time too, because the kids. I mean, this is the thing. It just depends on where we grow up. We can't stop it. It's always gonna be around us. Our culture is very strong. And
Yeah.
it's like being tattooed. Being in shape. Carrying yourself with your chest out. You know what I mean? Like it's about respect, though. At the end of the day, if you don't got respect, don't even bother to try to get involved in anything. It ain't gonna be no good for nobody.
That part.
That's the main thing. And yeah, you're gonna be out there. With the home, that's mandatory though. Skating and graffiti in high school, that's mandatory. Everybody, that's just a thing to do, and like I see my daughter, like I said, she's more into art. She's not really going down that path, but I do see the friends that she does hang out with.
Yeah.
And I do talk to her. I can't stop her from living, and I can't stop nobody from wanting to live their life. But you are gonna come across that one person or that experience that is gonna change your life forever. And it's just like either you're gonna run with it or you're gonna think different. And it's like honestly, it's hard to really say like don't do it, because I did it. So just think wisely. If you want to be here for a long time, think wisely and make good decisions. That's all there is to it. Yeah,
common sense.
Yeah, not a lot of people have that nowadays, man. I'm like, dude, what the like?
Come
on, man.
It's not common.
It's not that hard, bro. It's not that hard. It's not that hard, But yeah, I respect especially young entrepreneurs or people who are starting off their businesses super young too. I always try to support them. It don't matter what they're selling. I always want to support them because they put a lot of time and effort in what they're doing too. And it's just like I know exactly what you go through, and it feels good for people to just support. And just if it is like $5 to $10 or whatever, like hey, let me get a couple of making keychains or stickers or whatever. Let me get a couple of them from you,
Yeah.
And it's cool, like, and they get all excited and stuff like that because they see me and they're like, "Hey, I like your truck," and I'm like, "Oh," give them some stickers and stuff. But
That's right.
yeah, man, we gotta support each other. At the end of the day, there's room for everybody. Everybody's got to eat, you know.
That part.
Yep.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Growing up, did you ever had a mentor?
Uh, not. I did and I didn't. I mean, like I said, my pops wasn't really there too much, but mm, he has three brothers, so my uncles were kind of, my mentors. My uncle started his business when he was like 16 or 17, and he still has it to this day. He does purified waters. Shout out to Cascade Water Filters.
That's
But
right.
I worked with him, me and my brother, all of us, we all worked with him when we were kids. All of us. And he
Wow.
travels. He travels for work. And he always told me though, you want something, you have to get it. You have to earn it.
Yeah.
And this guy works though, man. He works long hours. And I was a little kid working with them, and like even when I got older, and when I had my daughter, I think I was already 20, 21, and I wasn't satisfied with my job, so I called my uncle and I was like, "Hey, can I work with you?" He's like, "Yeah." So I was working with him, and same mentality, same mindset. Like he just grinds, man. He freaking grinds, and I'm like, dude, like this is how I have to be. If I want what I want, I gotta get it. He has a nice home. He has his toys, like, and it's all hard work.
Yeah. It's all in.
Nothing else. All hard work. And he has a water softener business. So what does that go to show you? Like
Yeah.
this guy has a water softener business and he does very well. Imagine doing food or doing something else like tattooing or whatever. Like, bro, you gotta grind, you gotta get it. You have to get it. And it's just like providing for your kids, your family, and that's it. That's it. The older you get, the more you're gonna understand that. But as a youngster, you just want to have fun, man. You want to have fun until you're out with the homies and you ain't got no money and you're like, "Hey, dog, let me borrow a couple bucks." Like, nah, my boy, you got to get that on your own.
That part,
It's all it's tough love. My family is very on that tough love shit. So it was like, hey, no, you got to work for it. You got to work for it. And I'm like, all right. And then once you get that money, you're like, all right, it paid off. You know what
paid
I mean?
off.
So yeah.
You feel good at the end of the day.
Yep. Yep.
That's right.
Yep.
Anything you want to add up?
What separates you from everybody else that does pizza?
To be honest with you, a lot of people ask me that question. It's my dough. It's my dough, man. It's a little different, It's not a New York style pizza. It's not an Italian style pizza, Neapolitan. It's a Los Angeles style. It's my style, and it's authentic as you're possibly gonna get. Like I said, I've had some people write me from. They came out to a show, a car show,
Hmm.
and they were from Italy, and they tried my pizza. And low-key, I was nervous because I'm like, hey, that's where pizza comes from. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So she actually came up to me and was like, "Your pizza is really good." So I told her, if you don't have good dough, you don't have good pizza.
Hmm.
And that's where the nickname Dough Pusher came. You know what I mean?
That's right.
Yeah. Simple as that, man. Yeah,
That's
yeah.
right. Anything you want to add? You feel like it?
Nah, not really. I'm just, thankful. Thankful, man. Like every year is another blessing for me to continue and to strive. Like every year I try to improve as much as possible. There's always room for growth, always room to meet new people. And that's the thing too. You gotta connect. You gotta like learn how to speak to people. Like I said, we look a certain way and people think that we don't know how to talk or like we
Yeah.
don't know how to present ourselves. Be polite to people, like introduce yourself, like, hey, you guys need anything, I'm right here, and it's just like, unfortunately, I do hear, I'm not a lot, but I have heard a couple things said about me,
Yeah.
as a street vendor, but it's because I always have this fuck off face, you know what I mean? Because I'm in the zone.
Yeah.
I'm here to grind. Like, I'll make friends later, but I'm here to work, bro. And like I said, I do a lot of it by myself. So when I'm setting up, it's a lot. And when I'm cooking with 3 ovens, each of them get up to 850 degrees.
Damn.
So think about how hot I am. It's not because I'm mad at
No,
anybody.
yeah, it makes
I have a
sense.
headache.
Makes
You know what I
sense.
mean?
Makes sense.
And I try to push them out of the canopy because it's circulating inside my canopy. But it's like I don't want to push them too far because everything has to be so close to me. But yeah, I'm not mad at nobody. I'm just hustling. You know what I mean? I'm grinding for you
That
guys.
that
Yeah.
part.
Yeah.
Is there any advice that you feel that you want to share to the youth? I know it's a different times, different era.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
To be honest with you, I feel like these times are more self-made. Like I'm not a fan of the whole YouTubing. I'm gonna make a career off of YouTube and eating candy and like soups and stuff like that with these kids doing it. But hey, if you're gonna make a living off of it, hey, by all means, do your thing. But you have more talent than that. You know, there's something inside of all of us that we bring to the table that's different for everybody else.
Yeah.
So bring that out. Bring that to an event. Do you know, a live stream of you doing something that's gonna help somebody grow in the future. You know, and it's just try to be there for somebody else. You know, like how people weren't there for you. Like when I first started, I reached out and nobody helped me. But look where I am now, and I appreciate everybody who didn't help me. You know what I mean? But yeah, just do your thing. Just grind and be humble and be grateful for where you're at today.
That part.
Yeah,
that
we're
part.
still here. We're still alive. You know what I mean?
To push it forward.
Yeah.
Another day, another
Yeah.
blessing day.
Yeah.
So with that being said, brother, thank you for
Yeah.
having me.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Highly appreciate it.
Yeah.
Again, people will respect you as much as you respect yourself. You know what I mean? Just keep it straightforward. Again, you want to share your information in case if anybody wants to reach out to you?
Yeah, it's Zavala's Pies on Instagram. My email's on there as well. Just DM us. We'll do any party. Catering wise, weddings. We do divorce parties. You know what I mean? Nah, just say
All of the above.
kids, everything, man, anything. It don't matter. You want pizza? We're there. We're the catering business for you.
That's right.
Yep.
Thank you. See you
Yep.
in the next one.
Appreciate it. Thank you.